My greetings to everybody. I hope there will be no network issues today. Today our topic is Avidya, or ignorance, or nescience. Vedanta starts with Mayavad. So Maya means illusion. That is the first thing that is explained in the scriptures. And I'll just briefly discuss today, and we'll go into details as we proceed on. I hope I'll be able to explain as easily as possible to make it comprehensible to everybody. So, in the ancient times when civilization first came into existence, it was at that time that people were leading self-sufficient lives. Whatever produce or agricultural produce they were getting, that was self-sufficient for them. So there was no surplus production when it came to irrigation. And in spite of having a self-sufficient life, some people, a few contemplative people in the ancient times felt that despite of having everything, somewhere within there was a void or emptiness. And they wondered why. They wondered, why is there an emptiness or void within me when I have everything in life? Whatever food we are producing, that is enough for us. So life was very simple at that time. There was no complexity. But still they felt that the happiness that they were getting was not everlasting. It was not long lasting. So they decided that we should seek happiness. And since the world is the first thing that we see when we open our eyes, since this is the first thing that we perceive, they decided to find happiness in this external world. They decided to observe the world, the external world. They decided to churn everything so that they can get something from it. So the more they observed, the more they wanted to learn, the more they went out to seek happiness in the world, they started discovering different things. There were different scientific discoveries. There were discoveries that made their lifestyle easy. But they were still not happy. They felt that, yes, we are seeking happiness in this external world. And we have made certain discoveries which has made our lives easier, but the happiness is still not there. We're just getting it temporarily and then it's just vanishing somewhere into thin air. Why is this happening? Because our life was simple before, but now with these recent discoveries, our lives have become much easier. Why am I still not happy? This was the question that was disturbing the people since the ancient times. And now in this modern era, with so much medical advancement and scientific advancement, we are living a life with luxuries and comfort. Things are like easy, very easy now. Things were not as easy as it is now. It was much difficult before. So we have a very easy life. We have telephone, we have video calling. So communication is not a problem. Transport is not a problem. Science has advanced a lot. People are dying less because now there is medical advancement as well. But we are not happy. This is the truth. The reality is that we are not satisfied with what we have now. People didn't have much at that time, but still they were wondering, why am I not happy? But the thing is, we don't have this question now. We don't question ourselves, why are we not happy? We just go on seeking happiness outside. And soon it is time for us to leave this mortal plane of existence. When it's time for us to die, we feel that, oh, I didn't achieve anything in life. Despite of having everything now, why are we not happy? Why is the emptiness within us not getting fulfilled? What is the reason? So the ancient people, they decided that, okay, till now I was seeking happiness in the external world, but now let us seek happiness within. Let us just change the procedure and let us look for happiness within us. Let's see if that makes a difference. And it did. It was within them that they found happiness, bliss, peace, everything. They found the ultimate truth, that is Brahman or Atman. This was the topic of the last previous session. So they found the happiness within. And that is what they proclaimed for the rest of the world to know. That, O denizens of the world, you are the sons of immortal bliss. So do not have any fear. You are immortal. You are the embodiment of peace and bliss and happiness. Once you know your true self, you don't need to go out seeking for happiness, because you will be fulfilled once you know what your true self is. After discovering the truth, after realizing the truth, there was one question that again came within their minds, that we realized the ultimate reality, that is only the Brahman exists. Everything else that we see is false. Only the Brahman is true. The Atman is true. That is the only reality. That is the absolute paramount truth. Then why do we see the world? In the plane of ultimate existence, there is no world. There is nothing second. There is only one existence, that is Brahman or Atman. But why don't we get to realize this initially, since the very beginning? Why do we see the world that is in existence, that is inexistent, that is false? Why do we perceive this world? Why do we see this world? Then the answer followed the question. The answer was ignorance or illusion, Maya or Avidya. It is because of ignorance, it is because of illusion that we see the world and we consider it to be the truth. This is why we start seeking pleasure and happiness in the world, but we don't find it anywhere. This world is similar to an apparition. So we've heard multiple accounts of people who are mostly travelers. When they travel through the desert, when they're very thirsty, when they are walking under the scorching heat of the sun, they see oasis in front of them. They think that there is water and they are thirsty. They want to quench their thirst. And they go to that oasis to drink water, but they find that there is no oasis. It's just a mirage. It's just an illusion. There is only sand and pebbles. So Mayavad, it says that this world is Maya. It's illusion. So this is the topic, and we will have a brief discussion on this topic. So I am reading from the book Vedanta Sar, which means the essence of Vedanta. And in the introduction, there is a brief explanation about Avidya. So what I said until now, this was the background or the foreground. So now I'll start reading from the book. So as a beginner, it is very difficult to comprehend what Maya is. We are all living in this Maya. We are all in this illusion. So it's very similar to a magician and his magic tricks. My Guru Bhagavan, he always gives this example. When we watch a magic show, we feel very mesmerized because there are so many tricks involved and we cannot find the answer. It's very mind-boggling. So we're always questioning, how did this happen? How did he do that? What is the trick behind this? And we cannot find the answer. And we consider that magic trick to be very true. When we see the magician slicing the girl into two halves, we feel that, oh, maybe it really happened. We consider it to be true. All the magic tricks, it seems to be very true to us. But the magician knows that the tricks are not true. Those are tricks, just sleight of hands. There are various ways to go around it. So the magician knows that these are nothing but tricks. So a self-realized person, a person who is spiritually realized, knows that this world, it's just a magic trick. It's just a magic trick and nothing else. We are very mesmerized with this world that we see. But every spiritual person, they are not. This world doesn't attract them at all. Because they know that this is not the reality. They know the trick behind, they know the trick, and they know how to break the spell as well. So there was one instance in Swami Vivekananda's life. One person, he told Swamiji that you are hypnotizing us through your words. Swamiji said, I am not hypnotizing you. You are already hypnotized. I am de-hypnotizing you. This world has already hypnotized us. We are under a spell. We are in a trance. We are always looking for material pleasures in this world. We are always seeking something in this world. Materialistic happiness. Because we feel that the more we seek material happiness, the more we will become happy and fulfilled and satisfied or content. But it never happens. Ages have passed. You will never hear anybody tell you that I am very happy and fulfilled in my life. Nobody says this. Every person, especially if that person is on his or her deathbed, just before passing away, he will still complain. I didn't get anything in life. I'm suffering so much. So much sorrow is there in my life. That is all people say. But we are in a trance. We don't realize that this is not the right process to find happiness. We are in a trance because of illusion or maya or ignorance. It is because of ignorance that we are unable to know the real truth. That material happiness can never satisfy me. I need to know my true self. Self-realization is the only way that can bring happiness in my life. And in the ancient times, the sages or saints, they have already given us the key that can unlock every answer, that can solve every mystery of life. We have tons of questions. Why am I not happy? Why are there so many sufferings in my life? Every answer, the saints and sages from ancient India, they have already provided the answer. They have given us the key to the door of ultimate happiness and bliss. But we don't want to believe them. We always have doubts. Our minds are shrouded with doubts and dilemma. We don't believe their words. We don't believe the proclamation that we are the sons of immortal bliss. And this is the problem. This is why we are so unhappy. Because we do not know our true self. We do not know that we are in Maya. Everything that we are seeing now is an illusion. Avidya or ignorance is generally mistaken for want or negation of knowledge and a passive attitude. So this term avidya, it does not have a negative implication. It does not mean something that is, it's not an antonym. It doesn't mean something that is opposite of knowledge. And it doesn't have a negative denotation. But as it had been pointed out, ignorance or nescience is a combination of a negative and positive, a passive and an active feature. So Avidya, it explains both the positive and the negative. If we read the book Gyan Yoga by Swami Vivekananda, we will see that the first chapter, the book starts with the explanation, the chapter of Maya. And in that chapter, Swamiji has said that Maya is not negating anything. It is not saying initially that the world is false. It is just explaining the nature of the world. Avidya gives us both a positive and a negative outlook. It just explains the true nature of the world, and then it comes to a proper conclusion. So the saints and sages, they neutrally contemplated about the nature of this world without any partial view, any partial notion. And then they came to the conclusion that in the ultimate truth, this world doesn't exist. This world is not the ultimate reality. The world that we see, this world is the plane of relative truth. Everything that we see in this world is relative. Everything in this world exists because I exist. And even Albert Einstein has shed some light on this. I once read this in a paper. Albert Einstein said, everything in the world that we see, every object's existence can be proved because I exist. So he gave an example. Now we are making a lot of discoveries. We have gone to the moon as well. But first, what if I was not there? If I was not there, I wouldn't have looked up at the moon. I wouldn't have wondered what the moon is like. I wouldn't have done any research on it. Nothing, no discovery, no invention would have come. I exist. I am looking up at the sky. I am looking at the moon. And only then am I getting aware about the existence of the moon. I exist. And this is why everything else exists. But our priority is not I, it is the world that I'm seeing. So the ancient saints and sages of India, they have said that you should now change your priority. You should prioritize yourself now. Because if you are not there, nothing else will exist. So when man first looked at a tree, they wondered what the tree is. How can I use the tree? What can I get from it? And slowly they started researching. And then they found out that a tree can do photosynthesis. We get fruits and everything, oxygen from the tree. But what if I was not there? Who would have done the research? Who would have found out what the tree is all about? We have to emphasize ourselves. We have to give importance to us first. We are all concerned about the scenery that we are seeing. We are all concerned about the vision that we are getting, whatever we are seeing outside. But if the seer is not there, who will see? So the person who is seeing is more important than what is being seen. The object is secondary. First importance should be laid on the person who is seeing. So even Albert Einstein had said this, that if I do not exist, nothing else will. So this is why the ancient saints and sages, they said that instead of seeking everything in this material world, Instead of giving importance to this material world, you try to introspect within yourself. You try to know your true self, because you are more important than this world that you're seeing. You are the priority. So delve deep within yourself and find out who you are. Not what the nature of the world is, but what is the nature of the person who is seeing the world. We are very busy figuring out what the world is about. But what about myself? We always forget about ourselves. This is why somewhere in life we find ourselves lost somewhere. This is why our life is so void. There's a vacuum in our lives. So we should all put some emphasis on ourselves. Self-introspection, contemplation, meditation helps us to seek out our true selves. And that is the key to happiness. Contemplation is very important. It is through contemplation that the ancient saints and sages, it is through contemplation that they discovered the truth. So the world that we see, that is the plane of relative truth. All the truths in this material world are relative. Everything in this world exists because I exist. So if I am not there, nothing will exist. There is nothing if I am not there. So everything is related to me. In relation to me, everything else exists. So we have to go beyond this plane of relative truth and find the absolute truth. What is the ultimate reality of life? This is what spirituality is about, seeking the ultimate reality. So let me read further. So when you find explanation of Avidya, it does not have any negative implication. It is just explaining the nature of this world. Whatever I have discussed until now, that was the explanation of the world. That if you really think about it deeply, you will find that truly the world doesn't exist if you are not there. If the world was true, then the world would have existed even when I was asleep. Even when I am asleep. Why don't we feel the world when we fall asleep? We don't feel anything that is happening outside. When we are in deep slumber, we do not have any feeling of the body. We do not know where we are lying, how we are lying, who is lying there beside me. In deep sleep, there is no dream. So the mind is not active. There is no intellect. Nothing is there. It's just a complete blank. So if the world is true, why doesn't its existence, why can't I perceive its existence in every state that I'm going through? I can just feel the world when I'm awake. Why does it disappear when I fall asleep? What happens to it? Why can't we feel it anymore? Truth is something that is eternal and ever existent. That is the ultimate truth. That is the definition of ultimate truth. That which is true will always exist. But why doesn't the world exist when I sleep, when I dream, or when I'm in deep slumber? It should exist all the time. Why doesn't it exist? These questions, spirituality teaches you to ask these questions. If the world is true, and if I love the world so much, why do I want to fall asleep? I will want to stay awake all the time and look at this beautiful world. But at the end of the day, I really want to go to bed. I really want to rest and not think about anything. Why is that? If the world is true, if the world truly gives us happiness and peace, why do we go to sleep? We can just stay awake all the time and look at this world as much as we want to. But we do want to sleep. Sleep is very important to us. People who are suffering from insomnia, they do go to the doctor so that they can sleep soundly. So if we think deeply, we will see for ourselves that this world is truly relative. The existence of this world is truly relative. It cannot be the ultimate truth. And it is because of ignorance that we consider this world to be the absolute. So Maya, when you explain, it is explaining the nature of the world. And the world has both positive and negative. It is not just negative. But as it had been pointed out, nescience is a combination of a negative and positive, a passive and an active feature. The negative is that which hides the reality from us, and the positive is that which presents the manifold world. So there are two aspects of avidya. One, the negative influence of ignorance is it hides the truth from us. We are unable to know our true selves because of ignorance. We are unable to realize ourselves as Brahman or Atman. We are not being able to experience the ultimate truth because of ignorance. So this is the negative side. So Maya is like an imposition. It is sheathing the truth. It is veiling the truth. It is not letting us discover the truth. But the positive is, it is helping us see this world. This is a positive side. Because if we really analyze the world, we will know the truth. Swami Vivekananda had said, analyze this world deeply, observe this world deeply, and you will see the truth. You will see God. So we should be thankful that we can see the world, but we shouldn't be mesmerized with the world. We shouldn't be attracted or attached to the world. It is attachment that leads to sorrow. It is because we are so attached that we cannot let go that we are suffering so much. So the more we observe the world, the more we know what the truth is, the more we get closer to the truth. So this is the positive side. But even the positive side has become negative for us because instead of observing the world, we are mesmerized by it. So it's as if we have forgotten our primary purpose of life, that is seeking truth. And we have gotten diverted to a different path that has taken us far away from the ultimate reality. So it's time that we get back on track. And spirituality helps you to get back on track. Maya in the latter case is called Shakti or power. The world that we see, that is the result of Shakti or energy or power. It is because of energy. This world is all about energy. Maya and Avidya are generally used synonymously, though Maya is sometimes said to be the ignorance of Ishvara, the creator of this world, and Avidya to be the ignorance of Jiva or the individual soul. So sometimes we use the words Maya and Avidya synonymously, but sometimes in some scriptures, or there has been some people who have described it separately. They have provided separate definitions of Maya and Avidya. So avidya is considered to be the ignorance of us beings, human beings. That is avidya, ignorance. And Maya is considered to be the power of God. So God used Maya to create this world. to create this world, he used Maya. So this is how the two explanations are given. So in Vedas, in the last video, it was not a live session. In the last video, I was saying that in the Vedas, we will find every form of knowledge that can ever exist in this world. So in the Vedas, there is also the theory of the creation of the world. How did this world come into existence? So while in that explanation, there is this portion which says that God was created to create this world. And one of God's powers is Maya, or illusion. And it is through Maya that he created this world. Everything that we see is all his creation through Maya. And Maya has two types of power. One is imposition and one is divergence. Impositions means, like I said before, hiding the truth, veiling the truth, putting some impositions on the truth so that we cannot see it. And divergence, or vikshepa, as we say it in English, this is the English pronunciation, but in Bengali we say vikshepa. So this means diverging us from the truth. It means diverging us from the real to the unreal. It is making us get attracted to material objects, which is not the truth. So these are the two powers of Maya. And God used Maya to create this world. So it's like a game of God. A game of snakes and ladders. Life is full of ups and downs. So it's like God is playing a game of snakes and ladders with us, being the pieces. So it's like we are the pawns of this game. And very few, they get to know that, oh, this is a game. And that's when they stop playing it. This is why realization is important. Self-realization helps you to realize that this is nothing but a game. And that's when you stop playing it. And that's when you go and sit on the side benches and enjoy the game that others are playing. When you play soccer, when you play football, you have a fear that if I do a foul, I can get a yellow card, I can get a red card. There will be hostility on the fields. There will be people raging. Why did you push me? Why did you pull my jersey and stuff? But people who are on the side benches, they don't have any fear. They just enjoy the game. They can see everything, where the ball is going, who is kicking it, who is doing a foul. They just observe. So people who realize themselves, who realize their true nature, they just become observers. They enjoy the game. Once you realize that you're in a game, the game doesn't frighten you anymore. Avidya is also said to be a comprehensive term including Maya in it. So some even say that Maya is a part of Avidya. It is because we are in Maya, and it is because of Maya that we have ignorance within us. So Maya is a part of Avidya. The latter is associated with its effect, the world of name and form. So since there is ignorance within us, the result is that because of Maya, we can see this material, mundane world, which is all names and forms. We are unable to know the ultimate truth, which is beyond names, beyond forms. It is formless, it is infinite, the Brahman or the Atman. So some explain that Avidya is the cause and Maya is the effect. From the standpoint of cause and effect, Maya is an undoubted fact of experience which makes us endlessly pursue the cause of phenomena, which cause we never attain. So it is because of Maya that we endlessly, tirelessly keep on pursuing things which we can never attain. because those things don't exist. Like I said, a mirage in the desert. The oasis is not there. So no matter how much you chase it, you will never be able to quench your thirst from an elusive oasis. So a person who realizes that this is an illusion, that person will not endlessly pursue those things meaninglessly. He will save his energy and relax. This is the most evident aspect of Maya. So it is Maya that is continuously pushing us to chase objects that can never give us anything. This discussion might seem very harsh, but truth is bitter. This is the harsh reality. So the world that we have been considering to be the truth as until now, this world is not the ultimate reality. Very surprising, but very true. The thirst for a cause ceases when we attain the truth or highest knowledge. So we are always looking for a cause because of Maya, our desires. Because if there is no cause, there won't be any effect. There will not be any result. So we are always looking for a cause so that we can produce a result. Because we feel that when we produce a result, that result will give me happiness. But we quit seeking material objects when we realize the truth. The thirst for the cause, it ceases when we realize that, oh, it's an illusion. I have to wake up. It's time to wake up. The one aim of Vedanta, therefore, is the eradication of Maya or Avidya. So Vedanta, it aims through its explanations to eradicate or remove or obliterate ignorance from our minds, so that we can get to see the truth as it is, so that we realize the truth in its purest, truest form, so that we can realize that I am the absolute reality, I am the absolute truth, I am the Brahman and Atman. I have no fear, I am beyond birth and death, and I am infinite. This is the main objective of Vedanta. This is why we should pursue spirituality, we should pursue Vedanta instead of materialism, because that is something that is not producing any results, and it's been ages. Many eons and eras have passed, and seeking material pleasure has never ended well with anybody. So we should have a good ending, and that will only come when our ignorance ends. So this is the objective of Vedanta and spirituality, to remove, to eradicate ignorance from within us, so that we get to see the truth. So I will end the session here today. This was just me reading from the introduction. From the next session, I will start the real discussion. And step by step, we will find many other interesting stuff, things that we have not thought about before, things that will really open our minds. It will open a new horizon in front of us. So I hope everybody will enjoy the upcoming sessions. This will be all for today. See you next Saturday. I will see you before that, but in Tuesdays, Thursdays, these sessions will be in Bengali. Only on Saturdays, the sessions will be in English. So I hope the discussion was fruitful, and this will be all for today. Thank you so much for joining the live.